Okay, so what are the differences between Benjoin Boheme Classic and new Benjoin Boheme from Diptyque? So when I first tested the new Benjoin Boheme in Paris at the Galerie Lafayette, I felt like there was something a little different about it. So when I came home and I tested it against the Benjoin Boheme, the original, I noticed that it's just very, very minor, if at all. So there's not much different with it, at least to me. But there is a difference here between the performance. I feel like the original lasts a lot longer than the version that's in the bottle here. But I also feel like the reason that's happening is I don't think Diptyque has made Benjoin Boheme for a while. So the bottles that we have are probably matured and macerated for quite some time, maybe a couple of years. And I think what's going on with the current version of Benjoin Boheme is that they haven't really matured or macerated yet too long. So that's why I feel like I'm getting lacking performance with the new version and better performance with the original. At least that's how it is on me. But when I wore it and tested it out, I decided to put the original on this side of my body and the new on this side of my body 3 times. And 3 times I got better performance from the original. Again, I just personally feel like it's maturation and maceration, not necessarily anything else, because the formula seems very, very similar with a very, very faint difference. Not anything like that's really noticeable. But I feel like also the fact that I'm getting a faint difference is because it's lacking in performance a little bit. So that's the difference I'm getting. But as far as the smell goes, I feel like the fragrance is very, very similar. So let's go ahead and smell on strip as well, and then I'll let you know if there is something different that I'm smelling, which again 3 times I didn't notice any difference. Side by side I didn't. Outside, away, I definitely did. Like I said, when I tested it in France, in Paris, I noticed something different about it. But I think it's because my nose was smelling a lot of different fragrances, and it caught me off a little bit. So yeah, it's very similar to me. They're smelling very similar, but there's much faintness about the new one in comparison to the other. But also, I should say, I think that's exactly what's going on here. I think it's a maturation and maceration thing, because this version seems a bit subdued, and I feel like it hasn't fully aged to be, you know, spritzing and wearing the same. But once it settles for a while, it'll be very similar to what's in the other bottle, in the original bottle. So first sprays is what's really kind of experiencing different. Like it feels like it needs to settle a little bit to actually start projecting, and for the scent to actually mature and age to finally smell like Benjoin Boheme. Whereas with the original, it instantly smells like Benjoin Boheme, the scent I'm familiar with. But it settles down, and you start noticing that it's the same exact thing, but it starts off different, for sure. But like I said, I feel like it needs to mature and macerate further for it to really age and smell like what Benjoin Boheme smelled like. But for me, it's the same scent. Just performs and acts a little differently, then it settles. But I don't know, what are you guys experiencing, if those of you that are, you know, testing the old version with the new version? I think the old version is going to be a collector's item, first of all, because this bottle is not going to be made anymore. No one's making, I mean, they're not going to be making it. It was one of the most beautiful bottles to me. Really, really love that cracked bottle look. What do you guys think? Do you like this bottle, or do you hate it? And on top of that, there's the Diptyque logo. And on the bottom here, I mean, again, they had a few other. They had Homage, Chimomante, and there was one other one. And I have Homage in this bottle, and I also have the other one, which I'm forgetting the name of. I don't have Chimomante. So there was a total of 4 in this collection, and those 3 got discontinued during the pandemic, like I think around 2021, and they were completely gone. And there was a shortage of Benzoin Boheme as well. And you guys were messaging and commenting and saying it's discontinued. So thankfully it didn't get discontinued. So 2 things the Diptyque could have done. Completely discontinued this, and we wouldn't have ever had it anymore. or move it into a collection in their uniform bottles, which is an obvious thing that they're going to do. Sure, I feel like they're, cheating us with the amount of juice, and they're, jacking up the price and things like that, but it makes sense that they're not keeping this bottle anymore because they're probably producing less of these bottles, so it costs them more, and they've got these bottles galore. I mean, this bottle is in every single fragrance, and they probably have 25 fragrances in that same bottle, so it kind of makes sense. But going back to the scent again, they've both settled down to very similar smell, and again, it starts off, the new one starts off a bit faint and subdued, and then it matures and not matures, but it settles, and you can start smelling what Benjoin Boheme smells like. But the original starts right off. So, and my theory is, I feel like it just needs to age a little longer for it to really fully, be matured and macerated, is basically what I'm trying to say. But if you guys have experienced something different with the new version of Benjoin Boheme, do let me know. Put a comment down below so I can find out. And those of you that were looking for a bottle of the original, have you found a bottle? It seems like also Diptyque USA has bottles of this the last time I checked. In France, this bottle doesn't exist anymore. So most likely that's what's going to happen. And also the San Francisco Diptyque store had like 5 or 6 bottles of this the last time I checked. So those of you that are in the market and are a fan of Diptyque's Benjoin Boheme, get the bottles if you can, if you want this. Because like I said, the price is now the same for both. But with this uniform bottle of Diptyque's fragrances, it's 75 ml. With the original, it's 100 ml. So you're going to get more juice in the original. Plus it's, matured and macerated, of course, as I'm saying. And also, this bottle is so beautiful, and 100 ml. So anyway, those are my thoughts for the difference between the original Benjoin Boheme and EDP, the new version in the EDP bottles. Let me know if you've compared the fragrances and what your consensus is as well. You probably may be experiencing something completely different. Do let me know. Put a comment down below. Thanks so much for watching today. I'll be back with more videos very soon. Bye-bye.